Yo, what's going on, everybody? This your boy Mike. This your boy Jay. We have Peel probably coming in a little later. But thanks for tuning in to the Thinking Game. Thanks for hitting the subscribe button.
Thank
Thanks
you.
for
Thank
watching.
you.
For sure. So, man, how's your week go, man? If I start running down these disclaimers and stuff.
Pretty good. Pretty good. Living the dream. It's hot out there.
Yeah.
Summertime. Son
Yeah,
want to be
that's true.
outside. Then he want to
We
be
got
inside.
and we
You
got
know.
both our ears, right? All right, y'all. This podcast is to give insight on how decisions can lead to crazy situations. We are in no way saying that either of these choices or decisions that we're going to talk about are right or wrong. We are simply saying that in this world, one choice can lead to multiple issues and circumstances that are not beneficial to be in. Look at this podcast as insight on how the world can be a cruel place and some choices can be hard to recover from. We are simply having a discussion of the topics that inner city people deal with and are trying to elevate from. We are trying to bring awareness and invoke conversation. We are not in the business of being right because nobody's perfect, right?
Yeah.
So our first slide is double standards. I think as an adult, most kids, if you're not taught this by your parents, sometimes you taught maybe the wrong way, but you got to understand that double standards are what they are. They exist. So it says the definition is double standards refer to the unjust application of different sets of principles of similar situations. It's when one group is allowed more leniency or privilege, while another group is judged more harshly for the same behavior. This unequal treatment often arises from biases and can lead to unfair judgment and discrimination. So what I got is, do people like when the double standard is in their favor?
Love it. The best. It's the best. You get to be who you
Man,
are, and you get to make a
yeah,
mistake, and you live in your comfort zone. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Sometimes the mistakes are beneficial, and you know the consequences aren't going to be as harsh.
yes,
Uh,
true.
And he was like, "Oh, I'm gonna get a slap on the wrist for that because I'm a boy. I'm supposed to play rough or this and that,
Right.
whatever the
Yeah.
situation may be." But it ain't fun when a rabbit got the gun.
Boy, you ain't lying. Yeah, and most people they'll take advantage of that. Like you think about it in a job or whether in life. Some people, like you work at a job, they take advantage of the double standard of being in a higher position, whether you're a manager, CEO. Some people call it the perks of the job. Sometimes, they call it all kind of stuff, but usually double standards they exist. And the second question is, how does a person deal with a double standard if you're on the wrong side of it, the losing side of a double standard?
A lot of times, that's just the way it is. You take it on the chin, whether
Yeah,
it's racism or
yeah,
person got a higher position. Well, the supervisor can be late.
mm,
You know what I mean?
mm,
But you late, you on
that's
paper. You know
true.
what I mean? You've been rolled up
Yes,
three
sir.
times in a month, and you see.
Mm-hmm.
People say, "Oh well, Mike's late again." All right. You know what I mean? And well, Mike, you've been coming in a little bit late, and you see the supervisor coming in an hour late. You see the supervisor or your manager, they come in, take an hour lunch and take 2 hour lunch, and there's no
Right.
consequences. Uh,
Oh yeah.
and you're about to lose your job because you're 90 days or you're on
Mm-hmm.
probation and things
Right.
like this is going against your record, and
Right.
you're just doing what everybody in the office is doing, but you're the low man on the totem pole. How do you fight this? And I don't think
Right.
in that situation I'm giving, you can, you know what I mean, you can fight it.
No.
You Hey, I'm going to the union. Well, it's like a kid. Well,
Mm-hmm.
they're doing it. Well, you didn't say nothing when he doing it, and they're gonna say the same thing as an adult. You know what I mean? Worry about yourself.
Yeah. Exactly. And then, like I said, I was saying on what I said. I think I said on one I made, but in jail they always tell the dudes, dude, you're not gonna change the politics. You're just not gonna change it. You can die trying to change it, but it's still not gonna change. It was here before you got here. It's gonna be here when you die. You know what I'm saying? And that's how double standards work. Sometimes you be on the winning side, sometimes you be on the losing side. Sometimes you get the call from the referee, sometimes you don't. be happy when you get the calls and try to figure out, if how to negate it when you don't get the call. Play through the call, you know what I'm saying? So
You
for
know.
sure.
But and it's less. I mean, like in prison, it's horrible, and in the workplace, it's uncomfortable. But like
Yeah.
socially, it's really no downside to it. Um, you
You don't
know,
think so?
if you don't care what other people think, there's no prison they can put you in. There's no really
Yeah, that's
consequences.
true.
Like you know what I mean. If you're a woman and you're promiscuous, you had a couple boyfriends, you got the Lori Harvey situation. People are going to say what they're going to say about you. But if you don't care,
Right.
you live your life and you be happy. There's no
Right.
consequence. What people think about her
Mm-hmm.
doesn't affect her money in any way. It doesn't
Mm-mm.
affect her self image on herself
Right.
unless she lets it. And the same thing about a lot of stuff. You know what I mean?
But
Me
see,
as
here's the
opposed,
tricky part. The tricky part about that is you shouldn't care what nobody think, but you have to also calculate the cost of what you're doing.
of
You
course,
have to know that. Not everybody else. You have to know that. And whether dude or girl, you go out there and play on the other side of the fence. You go out there and play around. Guess what? Some people don't come back from that.
yeah. I
Double
mean,
standard or
the
not, however you want
consequences
to
are
look at
real.
it.
You know what
What
I
they
mean?
said in Houston, there's like something floating around in Houston. People pass around HIV like a bowl of Skittles, man. Pretty much. You know what
People,
I'm
somebody gave you the house.
saying?
Somebody gave you the house in Virginia. You know what I mean?
I like that. He said, house. That's a big house. That's a lot. You don't want that house at
Now
all,
you're a homeowner. You know what I mean? You
boy.
stuck with that lifetime mortgage. Uh,
Yeah,
even those the social consequences aren't bad, and you can deal with those.
yeah,
But what about the
mm-hmm,
physical,
yeah,
mental, and
yeah,
because that affects your health. You know what I mean? You got something you can't get back trying to play the game, and if you don't care, like the double standard of well, a man can do it, a woman can't. A man is supposed to pay all the bills and do this and that, and woman's supposed to
yeah,
do this. These gender roles, you know what I mean?
mm-hmm,
You got to live with that in your own house. You know what I mean? Who cares what somebody on the internet says you're broke or you're dusty or you this or you that? You know what I mean? You got to live your life. You can't be trying to live up to an internet standard. You know what I mean?
mm-hmm. So before we go to this next slide, man, which side you on? Are you a Republican or Democrat? I'm an independent. I told White, what are you? I'm a registered independent. I don't look at either side before we go to this next slide, man.
Yeah, I mean, like I
Yeah,
say, I'm always, trying to stay, out of that,
yeah,
both the issues like, well, hey, this person in this mayor or this governor or this judge is on the right side of what I want to do, what I'm trying to do
yeah,
politically.
yeah,
So I'm not a loyalist. You know what I mean? Like let's say you're a loyal Democrat. You got some Democrats in your local government might be like really really off. You know what I mean? And
yeah,
then Republicans in your local area might have their kind of head on straight. So I think you got to look at the individual things that individual is trying to do in your community and nationwide. So I don't think
yeah.
you can, I think it's crazy to be one color on everything. So
Yeah, and I was looking at this from a total strategy standpoint, like seeing how things are going this year. Do you think Biden should step down, and what do you think the strategy that they're using? Because it seems like they kind of they're in a tough spot right now. You know what I'm saying?
and
And
that's the thing. I mean, it's a rock and a hard place type of thing.
man,
Should he step down? Perfect world, yes. But then, what is the alternative? What does that look like?
mm-hmm,
What are they going to do? Is the person that's filling in is that a better choice, or do you got to rock it out until the next election? That's a hard thing to decide
yeah, I was
for a small group of people, let alone like
yeah.
one person or a small group, let alone the nation's going to get on one accord to figure out what's right.
See, here's what I think. Right, looking at this from a totally objective standpoint, taking the politics out, just from a strategy. In my opinion, I don't think that any Democrat wants to run against Trump right now at all. I think they want him to step down, like you say, in a perfect world, but don't know. No other person wants to take their loss to run up against Trump when you know you're gonna lose. So it's like who's gonna step up and try to fill that gap between now and November and probably still lose. Nobody wants to in politics. Nobody wants to take losses. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, and
Because
it's
you
a
lose
lot of
money
money,
and stuff.
and it takes a lot of money to run. Uh,
Yes,
you know what I mean? It's
yes,
like it's not well. We'll get them next time. Well, it costs a couple $1 million to run to get all that stuff. Like you know what I mean? Some people one and done. Like you know, Al Gore.
like
He
yeah.
he ran one time. You know what I mean? Well, you know what? I didn't do it. You know, he didn't come back next year.
I
A
thought
lot
he
of
did. He
people.
didn't come back the next year.
I'm not sure. I don't remember.
Oh,
Like,
okay.
but a lot
Yeah.
of folks ain't got money like the Bushes. They can
No.
run year in and year out,
Yeah.
and do
Yeah.
stuff like that. And then you know, Trump is extremely popular, and they got to
Yeah.
the Democrats got to decide who's going to run because you don't want to split the votes. You don't want to have two, you know, Democrats trying to go up there and run like the
Yeah.
old
I think,
a couple of years ago.
and I think, like I say, it seemed like if they, I don't know, it just seemed like looking at it from the outside looking in, if they had a chance, a high chance of beating Trump, I think they would make him step down. But I think because they know that there's no chance for him to win, they're gonna let him down his own heel. Cause you know, like I was telling wife, he wants to run for the second term like every other president does, even though you know whatever he going through, whatever I don't know. But I think that sometimes people could just say, you know what, let him sacrifice himself, and then let's regroup for the next term. You know, what I'm saying, because he only can run for one more term, right? That's it. He only can go 4 years, and
Yeah, I
that's
mean,
it.
yeah,
Yeah,
two terms, 8 years in all. They can.
he didn't
He
do
only
back to
got
back.
4 more years
Yeah.
left. He only got 4 years
So,
left. So
and the crazy thing is, where do you go after this? I mean, good God. I mean, who gonna? I don't know. It's gonna be crazy, man. After this 4 years, he
yeah,
get
I
out of
mean,
office. It's
like
gonna be
man,
pretty
like
crazy,
we, you know, people don't realize we get a bad president, it can be the end of the world. You know what I mean?
man.
So ain't no next time. You know what I mean?
Man, watch the Terminator was that she was on that fence and they dropped their bomb. Everybody gone. All right, pick one. Who you got? The Fugitive or Enemy of the State?
I love Enemy State. It was a really good movie. It was a clever
Yeah,
movie with the technology at the time,
yeah,
showing you like you know you really not alone. The government is really big brother,
man,
and it was really good to see. Even back then, when we didn't have the technology that we have now, that movie was really eye opening. Will Smith is always good, but I got to go with the Fugitive. I mean, just really old school Tommy Lee Jones. Um, you know, you're a doctor. You know, you don't think your life can happen like that, and next thing you know, you're on the run. You know what I mean? So it's just the whole movie is trying to figure out if he's innocent, who's the one armed man. You know what I mean? So it's just a really good movie. So I'm going with the Fugitive myself.
who you rolling with, Pill?
Can I try the pizza?
The Fugitive or the enemy of the state?
Probably the fugitive. I don't remember enemy of the state like that.
Yeah, I like Enemy of the State. I just like Gene Hackman. I like Harrison Ford too, but Gene Hackman he kind of made that movie though, man.
Of course.
The grumpy old man. Oh man! And then at the end though, man, he went into that Italian restaurant and he faked them out with the tape, talking about he had the tape, and they never vetted him or nothing. They just believed him, but he said he had the tape with the Italians, and they got to that shootout. Man, that scene was crazy. How he did that. That was pretty crazy. The Fugitive had a better production though. I mean, that's hands down. You know, they had some cold scenes. What was the one where he jumped off the thing? He was like, "Man, I got you." Did he just jumped off or something like he was floating? They had some crazy little scenes in The Fugitive, man. Harrison Ford had a nice movie run. He better never complain about his career. Dude had a nice run, man.
Yeah. He did a lot of movies over 40. So
Yeah, he did. He about to be the Red Hulk, I think, right?
yep, he still got it
Yeah.
going in a new
Because he
Marvel
played the
movie.
Green Hulk. Did he play the Green Hulk at one time? When he was fighting the dogs in the woods or something like that?
Nah, that was
I
Eric
think
Banner.
that was him.
Nah, that wasn't him.
That wasn't him?
That was Eric Banner. With the
Oh. All right. I'm see if Pill gonna come back. So let me know what you think, bro. It says, was Jonathan Majors put in an awkward situation? And does Megan Good has any accountability in this scenario? I'm gonna play the video real quick. Tell me what you think. Let me see. Shut tab. Oh crap! I gotta put y'all on there. Hold on. So what you think, bro? You think that was a crazy situation? We'll check it out real quick. Let me start it over. Hold on. Oh, what am I doing?
What's up, baby? How you doing? Good to see you, man. Everything good? How you doing, Mike? Nice to meet you. Nice to meet you. Nice to meet you. Y'all want to do this? Yeah, real quick. This is fire. Love this. Love this. Dion will love this. Absolutely. I'm on. Love y'all.
So what y'all think about that?
You know, like I say, I saw it. You know, and then a lot of people are complaining because that's not the whole video. He spoke to Jonathan Majors first.
Oh, really? It's not the whole video? I didn't know.
Well, you know, it's just a couple seconds. It's like 5 seconds more. But like he greeted Jonathan Majors. He spoke to him. He dapped him up, hugged him. Then he hugged Megan Good. Now, some people think the hug was excessive, but his hands were on her waistline, on her back. I've seen some grimy brothers. Hands you know, down close to her hips and her butt. You know what I mean? Things like that. You know what I mean? Getting really handsy, lingering the hug too long.
But he had to pick her up though. How did he pick her up though?
No, I mean I think it was hey, they got a personal relationship. They hadn't seen each other in a while. Hugged her, picked her up. It was all excitement, fun. I mean, I got a brother who picks other men up sometimes when he hugs them. So that's just that Michael Ealy's energy with her. They have a personal relationship in the past. I don't think it was anything disrespectful. Trying to police everybody's individual reaction with your girl is kind of crazy. If things like this continue, you have a conversation with your girl and stuff like that. You start to set boundaries. But I don't think I saw anything out of bounds. Like, you know what I mean? I've been in a situation.
I don't know about them.
Where
what do you think, Pill?
That boy was all the way wrong.
Man.
It was like no disrespect, but without disrespect. Man, get out of here. Better not pick up my girl in front of me.
Think about this, bro. Like, okay, if this Beetlejuice doing that, you like, okay, that's Beetlejuice. This is Michael Ealy, the light-skinned monster, man. This dude, man, he kind of known for this kind of stuff too, man. He was crazy, man.
See, that's that light-skinned privilege, man. That's that light-skinned privilege. That light-skinned privilege.
And then, man, like Jonathan Majors, he can't really do nothing, man, because he on them papers right now. So that's what make it kind of tough too. So he ain't Kane the Conqueror no more. Nigga, he Paul the probator now. He Paul on probation now, dog.
Probation Paul.
He can't do all this stuff. Yeah, man. He can't do none of that. He can't put his hands on people now, man. Then his thing, man, like if he was Kane the Conqueror, if he was like where he was, well, he have done that if he was at the top of his game instead at the bottom. Like how dudes treat you, do stuff to you when you at the bottom sometimes is kind of crazy.
I mean, Jonathan Majors is a grown man and he's a confident man. He's a strong man.
He didn't look grown. He didn't look confident though. I'm just saying he didn't look like.
No, I mean, but he didn't look like he was focused on it. He looked really unfazed about what was going on. Like, he's just a weird guy. He looks his
Nah,
weird
he
self.
like he wanted to
You want to say something?
use. He
Yeah,
like he wanted to.
I definitely
Yeah.
didn't see him like wanting to say something to, you know what I mean? The skinny dude Mike Ely. Now,
I don't know, for some reason it seemed like when he went back over there before he took that picture, it seemed like he kind of sized him up. Maybe I looked at that wrong though. He's like, man, what you really gonna do? You know what I'm saying? After he hugged, like, what you really gonna do? You know what
He
I'm
gave
saying?
I
I don't know.
definitely didn't see that. Definitely didn't see
man.
anything like that. I've been around grimy dudes that are
Oh,
laughing, joke,
100%.
laugh and joke with your girl, but then when you come, you know what I mean, it's tight lip. What's up, big dog? And whatever, blah blah
But he
blah.
only been with it. He hadn't been with it that long. Does she have any accountability in this though?
Nah,
I don't.
not
She don't. Man,
not
y'all
not.
crazy. Man, she know better than this. You should know better than that,
No, hold on.
man.
So she gonna like stop. Well, put me down. Don't hug
No,
me.
no, no. She didn't have to
Oh,
jump. She didn't.
that's her
Nah.
friend hugging her. We
Okay.
can talk about this later, but I
Okay.
didn't see. I don't think me personally, I don't think she did anything wrong. Michael Ealy did anything wrong, and I don't think Jonathan Majors took it personally. I know
He
Snake.
couldn't take it personal. He can't take it personal because he on papers. He can't.
I mean,
He
what
can't go
if
to
he wasn't?
Kane.
Well, hey, paint me the picture. If he wasn't on papers, what do you think he would have done, or would have been a good reaction to that situation? Like,
I mean, it wouldn't have been a good way. I think he handled it the best way he could, but he could have said,
I
"Nah,
mean,
man."
but like,
He could
how
have said, "Show a little bit
other?
more respect." He could have said, "Show up a little bit more respect." You know what I'm saying? He could have went totally. I mean, man, it's dudes that didn't got in some crazy situation because of that kind of stuff that happened, bro.
But I think it was maybe intense or excessive embrace, but I don't think it was nothing sexual or flirtatious about what he did.
Man, you look at that video again. He looked like he the fifth wheel on there, man.
Uh,
he the fifth wheel on that picture,
But
man.
no, but I
yeah,
mean
man.
that's how you look. That's how you look. Anytime you're not active in the play. If you're seeing two, we're not seeing three people hugging. We're seeing two people hugging, and the picture you said. I can see what you mean. He kind of leaned in. I'm like, hey, this is the picture.
Been too long. Been too long. What's up, baby? How you doing? Good to see you, man. Everything good? How you doing, Mike? Nice to meet you.
I mean, look. I don't know, man. I don't know, man. I think he's trying to hold it because the camera's right there.
Hold on.
Do you think he hugged the dude in the green? Look too, got a little too close with the dude in the green, and he didn't know that other girl, but he been knowing Megan Good half his life.
Man.
But it's still a respect thing, bro. It's the principality of it all, bro.
I mean, I'm trying to see what you think he like. What hugging her was wrong, or picking her up was wrong, or
Picking her up.
hugging her.
I
was
think
both
picking
men.
her up. I think picking her up was wrong. Like, and the fact that the way he looked after he did it, man. I don't know. Maybe I'm tripping. It's like he looked at him like, "Yeah, what you gonna do about it, dog?"
I'm not definitely you add stuff. you
Okay.
definitely
All right.
put your
All right.
personal
All right.
experiences on that.
All right. Pick one: The Golden Child or Big Trouble in Little China.
Man, this is hard. I've seen
Yes. When I
both
think
of
I
these
like
movies
both.
over 10 times. Like, you know what I mean?
Yes. Yes.
If regular TV was a thing, and if any one of these was on TV, I remember Golden Child was on TBS one time with commercials. I still sat down and watched it.
Yeah.
But me and my little brother loved Big Trouble in Little China, and we
Yeah.
watched that faithfully with my dad. I mean, that's a good throwback to my dad watching movies
Yeah.
like kung fu movies, magic mystery. Like, I mean, it's just a
Mm-hmm.
good movie to me personally. So I gotta go Big Trouble in Little China. Eddie Murphy, my favorite comedian, favorite actor,
Yeah.
and all of his movies are gold to me.
I mean, Kurt Russell was awesome. Yeah, for
Yeah.
sure. Who you going with, Pill?
I had to piggyback out there too, man. Yo, that Big Trouble Little China.
Yeah. I like I'm gonna go with Golden Child, but man, Big Trouble in Little China just had the funnies like that dude to get big at the end when he saw his master die, man. It was so funny, man.
Kurt Russell running around with a knife and a Tech 9. People get
Boy, don't nobody even like Tech 9. That's the most jam gun, it's the most underutilized gun I know, right?
and he had the semi-auto Tech 9 too. But
When he would go to Child, he said, "Man, what's this, man?" He said, "It's good to keep the yang up." We say, "What?" I ain't got no problem with my yang. And then when he got mad at that woman, he thought it was a fake woman. He didn't know it was a snake, and he knocked that drape down. He said, "Man, what's this face?" He said, "Oh, wait a minute. Okay, I'm tripping."
And he's spinning a little thing. I want the knife.
Boy, for sure.
Oh man, where's the ground, Monty? Oh man, it was just so much.
Boy.
My dear sweet brother Noomsy.
So, this is what kids need to learn about too: cultural preference. How tough is it dealing with cultural preferences? Because it seems like it's so many of them, man. And everybody has their own twist on the cultural preference too. There's no clear answer to cultural preferences sometimes. Why I can't do this? Because we just don't do that. You know.
And it's kind of sometimes it kind of it seems like a choice. Preferences phrase it like it's your choice, but sometimes you get it put in a cultural box. Black people don't do this. You can't play golf. You can't play tennis. You know what I mean? Even though probably two of the best tennis players ever to live are black, and it's Venus and Serena. What if
don't forget about Arthur Ashe, bro.
Arthur Ashe, you know what I mean? Yes, of course.
Yeah.
What if Michael Jordan would have played tennis? You know what I mean? So, Tiger Woods in golf, we're put in like a 6'6" person with that kind of agility, covering the court would have been crazy. But we're just put in boxes, cultural boxes that we
do. We put ourselves in boxes sometime though.
We don't go chasing waterfalls. We stick to the lakes and the rivers that we used to.
But sometimes we still put ourselves in boxes, though, right?
I mean, yes. I mean, you do what's comfortable, and you do what you're exposed to. My dad was only exposed to football, track, and basketball, so that's what I'm exposed to because he has an expertise, and he can get me ahead in those sports. You know what I mean? Your daddy was a banker and a golfer, so he can get you in those country clubs and things like that. So maybe it's the role a path of least resistance, and we get good at where we're in proximity to.
So what you think, Bill, before we go to the next question? How tough is it dealing with cultural preferences?
I mean, I don't think it's that tough, but like I say,
some moment it is.
Yeah, but you'll get put in that box without even realizing it, though.
Yeah.
Or you'll put yourself in it without even realizing.
Because the next one is, have you went outside of cultural preferences?
Depends on what you're talking about.
I know, right? I'm not just talking about eating pumpkin pie. You ever ate pumpkin pie? Now, anybody do it? Pumpkin pie.
I do.
Yeah,
I do.
I tell you, the most craziest one was when we was younger with black girls. I said, "Have you ever talked to a white girl?" He was like, "No, I ain't never talked to no white girl." No, you have before. He's like, because you don't want to get blacklisted.
You
get blacklisted.
You playing in the snow. You know what I mean? So,
boy.
Hey, I like snow flurries. Not in the spring.
Catch the snowflakes on your nose.
The thing I think sometimes the thing that I think girls don't understand is there are some guys that are made for the snow, and there's some girls that's made for the snow, and they're not made for you. They just not made for it. You know what I'm saying? But sometimes people they get stuck in their preference. Though you should just do this. Some people just not made for certain people, man. You know what I'm saying? That's what I've seen growing up. Some people just not made for certain people. You know what I'm saying?
And it's cool.
Like Ben Carson is probably not gonna date a girl in Southwest driving a Saturn. You know what I'm saying? It's just not gonna happen. You know what I'm saying? He not built for that. I mean, he ain't sitting around talking about what happened to elevations or whatever it's called now. You know, he ain't studying that. This dude's a surgeon. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? That's all I'm saying. You got to understand. I think a comedian said these women mad at Michael Jackson because he dated Elvis Presley's daughter. And he said, what he look like dating you? You got your 69 Cutlass in the yard. You know what I'm saying? How that's gonna look? You know what I'm saying? But people get stuck on preferences, though. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes you got to realize, man. You know, dating sisters, man. You got to be wired a certain way, man. If you're not, it can be a challenge. You know what I'm saying? Some people don't like challenges. Like I just say, people stick to what they know. Lead path of least resistance. You know what I'm saying?
But then, some challenges ain't good. Like just because something difficult, don't mean
I
it's
get
going to
it.
be rewarding.
Right?
What I mean?
Absolutely.
People get in the thing. Well, just because I had to work hard for it, it means it's good for you. You know what I mean? Digging yourself
Right.
in a hole is hard. You know what I mean? You know. So just
But is everything easy good for you too, though?
I mean, of course, it's a balance. You know what I mean? Just
Okay.
because she's combative, confrontational, and she questions everything you do, don't mean it's good. You know what I mean? So,
Yeah. I think you have to realize. I try to tell girls that when you're married, it's not a competition. You're actually on the same team, and it just behooves you to understand that you're on the same team and work it out to be on the same page. I think that's the hardest thing, being on the same page. And you dealing with people preferences and stuff. It's like you'll be on the same page until something else come up. And like, well, I don't do it like that. Even though you do it like this, I don't do it like that. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I get it.
it's easy to be on the
And the
same page until you hit something you emotionally feel. So like, well, I
that's
don't
what I'm
feel
just saying.
that
Yeah,
way, and
exactly.
things like that, and it bucks against what you used to. It ain't easy to be together, and it seems
Yeah.
like it's a male versus female scenario, even in marriage.
Yeah.
Who's gonna
Go
pay the most
100%.
money? Who's gonna clean up the most? Who's gonna take
Right.
and then everybody's trying to do the least. Well, and get their partner to do the most. Well, I want you to pay all the bills and help me out with the kids and clean up. And it's like, well, what you gonna do? Like, that's not a man's place. He's not supposed to ask what I'm doing. And then,
Yeah.
if a man says, well, I'm work, you got to work too, and you got to take care of the kids, and you got to clean up and things like this. And like, well, that's not fair either. And it just seems like we're fighting to do the least in marriages and relationships, and everybody's talking about what they're not going to do. I'm not going to
Right.
go.
Exactly.
I'm not
Double
going to pay
standards.
I'm not
Double
going to
standards. Right.
be the one that's taking care of the kids. I'm not going to be and it's like nobody's saying what I'm going to do. This is what
Right.
I'm going to do. This is what I want to do
Mm-hmm.
for you because I love you. Everybody's got,
Right.
even in marriages, they got these conditions. Well, I'm going to be a good man if you're a good woman. Well, I'm going to be a good woman if you're a good man. And everybody
Yeah.
wants the other person to do something first. And then
Yeah.
sometimes they do the thing first and they're waiting on their partner to reciprocate what they say they're going to do and they don't do
Right.
it. And
Exactly.
happiness. Well, I'm paying all the bills. You said you was going to take care of the house. I can't. It's too hard. Or the woman said, I'm taking care of all the house. You said you was going to pay all the bills. Well, baby, it's hard. You know what I mean? And then leaves the person resentful when
Yep.
the other person doesn't come through with what they're
Yeah.
saying they're going to do in a partnership.
Yeah, or
Yeah.
you start out doing it, then you quit once you get there.
Yeah. That's
Yeah,
true.
and that's very hurtful, and you become resentful. Like, you used to be a kind man, or you used to be a good woman. You used to be sexy when I came home. You did this, and it's like, well, you didn't appreciate it, so I stopped, or whatever the reason is.
Yeah.
They stopped.
People
working.
find a way. People find ways not to do something, bro. It's amazing how it works. People find a way to get out of it. That ain't for everybody. I don't think that's really me. They'll find a way not to do it.
Or faking
I had to
it.
reprogram myself. You know what I'm saying?
Or faking it, or giving a false representation in the beginning. She say, "Oh, I love kissing you." Kissing you is like, well, I love my girl. She loves to kiss me. And then 3 months in a marriage, she stopped kissing. Well, I never liked kissing in the first place. Like, well, that was one of the selling points that I married you for, because you was a good kisser.
Yeah.
Or
I mean,
you
think
were
about
hot.
the
And then
what's the
you're
one
not
that was
hot.
married to Shaq? Shawnee O'Neal had in her book, I didn't love him or something, but you was with the dude, had kids by him, but you didn't love him. It's like, that's kind of crazy, man. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and I mean, it's like, and then when I hear stuff like that, I got to go back to like elementary. Like define what you love is. Define what you
Yeah.
think love was.
100%. Yeah.
If you can be, you're a weird person. If you can
Yes.
be with somebody 10 years, have kids with them, even my friends, I can say I love my friends. I've been with them for like
Right.
15, 20 years, talking to them like a couple times a week, being in rough situations. My dad passing, their
Right.
grandparents passing, being there with somebody, just being in proximity with people who care about me. I accidentally love him. And you
Right.
telling me you raised kids with this man and he
Man.
supported you and stuff like that, and you didn't ever feel any kind of love for him?
Yeah, I think
That's
it was.
for
Man.
you. It's
I
kind of
think it.
sociopathic. You know what I mean? Now, if you go out later and experience real love or a real intense love that's more than what you have for Shaq, I can understand that.
That,
I love
that,
my new man 1,000 times more than I ever loved my old man. I understand. But to say you never loved somebody, uh,
I think
that's
that,
it.
I think that's what she probably was trying to say, but didn't say. Just
Nah.
just out of respect for a new husband, because their relationship probably way different than her and Shaq was. You know what I'm saying? But
I I noticed this. I start having feelings for people. Like I love or have positive feelings for people who love my child. Like so I got a son. If you treat
Yeah.
my son good and you love on my son, I start having positive feelings for you. So if I have a kid by you and you doing right by my kids for years, it's going to be hard for me not to love you. You know what I mean?
But that's what I'm saying. That just show you how
Male or
crazy the
female,
world
right? I
is.
mean, like platonic love, of course, but you know what I
Right.
mean? We can't have so many things that we love, like kids, in common, and I never loved you. Nah,
I
it
think that
don't work.
just show you how crazy the world is, man. Like it's like just when I talk to my kid, it's people out there that will play the game as long as they can and get what they want out of you, then bail. You know what I'm saying? That's just how the world is. Just why you have to be careful about who you entertaining. You know what I'm saying? Because you just never
Yeah,
know.
I mean, and it's the whole. It's kind of like sex work. Like, well, I can be with you as long as these benefits come in and the benefits come off. I'm out of here. You know what I mean? Emmett Smith wife just kind of ducked off
Man,
because
Emma
being your
Smith,
wife is
we gotta be
being your
honest too. Emma Smith
wife.
kind of was a sucker though. I mean, he didn't he date the wife that Martin married or something like that?
Yep. So I mean, you get them. You lose how you get them.
Man,
So you gotta
and
look at this. And
and
what
when
you're
you look
saying,
at the reality show they tried to make, man, she was dogging dude out almost. It's borderline dogging dude out.
if you're paying somebody to be your wife, when you
He
stop
pretty
paying
much
them,
did.
they're
Yeah.
going to stop being your
Or the
wife.
money get low. Or the money get low.
I
Sure.
mean, it's
Yeah.
the same thing. I mean, you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Sometimes, I know men that go to the club or they go stop by 12th Street, every night, and they
yeah.
think if they go on 12th Street every night, every Tuesday and Friday night for 5 years, that girl that they pick up has feelings for them. They bonded. You know what I mean? No, y'all just coworkers. That person, if you stop paying that person is going
Yeah.
to stop performing those services for you. You
Oh
might
yeah.
get one freebie for old time's sake, but that person is paid to be there. And
Yeah.
a lot of people they love you conditional. You
Right, for
take
sure.
those conditions away, you stop providing, you stop
Yeah.
taking care of their kids, you stop being emotionally supportive. That love or that those benefits go away.
Yeah. My thing is they just don't be honest. Like just say when Shaq money got low, I didn't love him or something, or I didn't like him because of just be honest. But they just to leave it at that, it's just kind of crazy. So pick one: Boonie hat or the fitted hat.
well, see it all day.
Yeah, I'm going. I'm not a hat
I'm
person.
born.
My head too
I'm a
big for
Boonie
hat,
hat.
but
Yeah.
but I'm definitely going fitted.
I'm going Boonie hat. I love the Boonie hat, man. Cut grass in it. Go to the gun range in that mug. Sometimes you feel like a Navy SEAL, you know what I'm saying? You know, it seemed like old boy should have had one on the other day, but sound like it didn't even matter, man. So,
Mhm.
hey, on the side note, bro, I don't want to talk about it a whole lot, but what do y'all think about that, man? How was he able to get that close and not be seen by Secret Service?
Oh no, yeah,
Because
no, I
there's
definitely
no way
propaganda.
if I'm doing security
Yeah,
detail, if I see anything move, he on a metal building on a roof, standing seam roof. Ain't no way he could blend in with that roof. You know what I'm saying?
No, that was
He ain't the
terrible on the
predator.
Secret. That was terrible on the
Yeah,
Secret Service.
But you
yeah,
see the
that's what I'm
women's
saying.
secret service they had him on tape. That
Why
was
you
crazy.
laughing, man? Why you
That was
laughing, man?
crazy. I mean, it was
Yeah.
funny, but I think it was all planned, staged, propaganda to make
Oh
him
yeah.
even more likable. So it probably was like
Trumpomania,
rap.
man.
Like he probably had a razor blade on his hand and just hit his ear, and it started bleeding.
Yeah, for sure. And man, yeah, that's why I think ain't nobody gonna win. I was talking about the Democrats earlier. They don't nobody want to run against Trump. They just let him down his own hill, let him win, and then we'll regroup after 4 years. But what they don't know is what's coming after that. It's gonna be crazy. But I don't know. I ain't getting into it. It's gonna probably gonna be even crazier, man. Like, where do you go after that? You know what I'm saying? Is it gonna be more celebrities running? Like, what if The Rock run for president? You know what I'm saying? After that.
Mhm. Due, due to my employer, I can't speak too much on Trump.
Yeah.
We already got the email.
Ah, yeah, I feel you, bro.
But
All
that was
right,
it was
life.
still
Go ahead.
it was still bad on the security detail because I think it was only what like three roofs. It should have
Yeah,
been
I
somebody on
guess.
every last one of them
Yeah.
on the
So,
crew.
life lesson. We talking about people that abuse power. What causes a person to abuse their power? Is it A, lack of empathy, or B, lack of morals? Or could it be both? Probably
I
both.
think it's both. Like, cause of you, if you have morals but you don't really feel what you're doing is wrong, you'll still
Mm-hmm.
do the wrong thing because you don't like,
Oh, 100%.
um, you want what you want and what they want don't matter. You know what I mean? You couldn't even imagine yourself in their shoes. If they didn't want me to treat them like this, they wouldn't be in the position they were in.
Right.
So you just do what you want to do. You get there doing what you wanted to do. And now
Mm-hmm.
you're here, you're definitely gonna do what you want to do.
Right. And I think for me, working in IT, kind of seeing both sides of their fence, like people who not on their side and people who get on like executive side. It seems like some people they feel like it's a privilege to be able to flex your power once you get to that point. They work to get to that level, so they should be able to do that. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of times people ain't gonna say nothing because you don't want to lose your job. So it goes unchecked, and it's like you almost create a monster. You let that monster build up, and now you know everybody got to kind of work within living with that monster. Because like I said, HR can only go so far because they work for the executives. You know what I'm saying? People don't realize that. You can go talk to HR all you want, but you know they only can go so far at the end of the day. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, sometimes people get to that level they don't have. You think about a lot of people that get to those high levels, they may have morals, but in order to maintain at that level, do they compromise? You know, their morals and their empathy. You know what I'm saying? Because some of them saying that you're not supposed to fraternize because if you fraternize, that you can't. It'll be hard for you to discipline your employees if you're friends with them. You know what I'm saying? It's little rules like that. You know, you can't hang out with your subordinates. You can't build a bond with your subordinate. Something now you starting to see that change a little bit, but not a lot, but a little bit because they're trying to change the climate of how things look optically. But man, 5 or 10 years ago, man, it was kind of crazy though. I ain't gonna lie, it was kind of crazy,
If
and it
something
wasn't nothing you can do about it. It ain't nothing you can do about it. You know what I'm saying? It
uh,
really ain't.
if something like that makes you compromise your morals, it means you never had it.
Yeah,
Exactly.
yeah,
You
that's
never
true.
had it. You just faked it till you just fake it till you make it. But you can only
Yeah,
But
fake so
that's
long.
true.
yeah, but
That's
if
true.
you know, what can you say in how you are, what kind of person you are until you're tested. You
That's
know,
true. Yeah, that's true.
I wouldn't do this and I wouldn't do that. Well, put something you want or you desire on the line. You'll do that immoral thing to get what you want. Like I wouldn't take candy from a baby because I don't want candy. But you probably put $1 million right there. You know what I mean? Forget that, baby. Push that stroller down. Take that money. And a lot of people are like that. Well, I'll never hurt a child. I'll never do this. You put that child or that old person between them and what they want, their goals, and they'll run that old person over. They'll run that child.
100%. Even with dudes, right, in the dating game, it's like, man, there's some dudes that got morals, and some dudes they gonna win at all costs, whatever it take to get it done. You know what I'm saying? Whatever it take. You know what I'm saying? Sad to say, but there's dudes like that. Any way it take to get it done. Whether kind of like in the football when the ball get on the ground, everybody pile up. That's how you can tell
I'll
which
never
one
let
you
it go.
want. Which
And
one you want?
I'll never let this ball go. And then somebody grab your real balls, and then it's like, well,
Which one you want?
I'll negotiate now. And then,
I had the second. Go ahead,
people
bro.
always talk about like preachers and stuff like this. They are people too. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
And they're
that's true.
getting way more temptation than like that you get. You know what I mean? You sold somebody out for $60. You know what I mean?
Boy.
They're getting tempted with thousands. Some of them millions. You know what I mean? To do whatever that thing is. So
Yeah, preaching is that's a tough job, man. Like to keep up with people, even when you know they hard headed, this is tough, man. To try to give people the truth, but they don't want to hear it because they want to do what they want to do. It's pretty tough, man. You know what I'm saying? It's pretty tough. Even when you showing them that in the Bible, you can have it on the screen and show them exactly what it say, and people are like, I don't like that. I still don't want to do it. You know what I'm saying? It's pretty crazy.
because
So,
people
yeah,
run everything they see through their feelings first.
that's true. Yeah,
Well, I don't feel like it's wrong. Okay, that don't change. This
right.
and the justification. You know what I mean? I was reading a little post on cheating or whatever.
Yeah.
People will make a reason why it's
Oh
justified
yeah.
when they
Oh
did.
yeah. Oh yeah.
Well,
For
he
sure.
made her do this, or she made him do. Well, I wasn't getting this. Well, the thing you said was wrong when it happened to you is now right because you frame it in a certain situation. So, uh,
Yeah.
you know,
And then that goes to the second question: what causes a person to be manipulated by a person that abuses power? Is it lack of morals or lack of awareness?
I think complacency, want to be in the safe zone, fear
Mm,
of losing what they have. They have so little. So, like
right.
people with a lot, you think they will be more fearful of losing a lot, but they're not. It's people with a little. They'll grab that little piece of happiness and almost take any abuse, whether it's a relationship or in a job. You making
Hmm.
$10 an hour, but you taking abuse. They're calling you in. They're docking your pay, but you're fighting and you're holding on so tight for that little security, that little piece of
Yeah.
happiness. And you're so scared to reach for something else because you gotta let that little piece go. And I think that
Yeah.
people in abusive relationships and abusive jobs or the jobs where they're not giving them what they're worth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's
Go
true.
ahead. What you say, Bill?
Yeah, me personally, I think it's that lack of awareness, man. Because if you aware of stuff like that you know it's about to happen, yeah, it's
Yeah.
time to
I
get to stepping, my brother.
I think too. A lot of times, it could be both. Sometimes people can be. You can have the morals, but if you put yourself in a bad situation due to lack of awareness, it get real challenging. I'm not giving no way out. I'm just saying, like a lot of times, people who like that, they try to have you depend on them. You
Mm.
have to find a way to be independent and not depend on another person,
It's
especially
like
as a man. Woman is a little different, but as a man, you
no,
have to be independent. Go
you
ahead.
got to think about it, man. It's the same. It's the same jail. It's the same heaven and hell for men and women.
Right.
And we like to say it's a double standard. Well, women can be a little bit soft. Man, you
No,
end
I'm
up
talking about as far as like marriage and stuff is concerned, like something like that.
yeah, and then in a situation where this abuse of power, you end up
Yeah,
everybody says what they're not going to do until they
that's
get in
true.
a desperate situation where they need this job, they need this pay advantage,
Mm-hmm.
or
Right.
their just rent is a little bit short. And that man says, we can go back in the room like we did last time, and you in the situation. You promised your mama you would never sleep with a man for money or a place to stay for anything, for financial
Mm-hmm.
gain. But
Right.
now you and your kids are going to be on the street. But you can do this little thing. It'll take 5 minutes, and you can keep your job. You can keep your
Right.
apartment. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of men are in questionable or suspect situations when they're in where their boss say, "Well, I give you this little 5,000 if you just do this. Well, just let me see it or just let me touch it." Or a lot of men in prison cells uh,
Man.
negotiating. Well, I can let this man beat me up, or I can just do this little something, just a
Or I can
little,
let this man beat me up. Or I can let this man beat me up.
or I can
Pause.
just do this little thing, and
Yeah.
nobody will know what I'm doing in this cell. It's just me and
And
him.
see that too. That's lack of awareness too, because a lot of times you hear him say, "Don't get involved in gambling. Don't get involved in drugs because you'll get in debt that you can't pay back. You can't physically pay back.
Mm-hmm.
Like getting involved with people where they name how much you owe. It ain't like a set thing like in the free world. If you lose at the casino, you owe us $5. That could be $500 in jail. You know what I'm saying? And you only making $1 a day working or something like that. You know what I'm saying? You in a debt or something like
They
that.
talking about
You
indentured
know?
servitude.
Yeah.
You don't want to be in situations like that because they keep
Yeah.
getting worse, and you think this is the bottom. Well, in your normal life, in your 9 to 5, in your tech job, um, or even your photography business, you'll never have to negotiate your manhood as a bargaining chip. But make a bad choice, and you can end up in a situation where your manhood is on the table as a poker chip, and you're playing.
Well, some dudes do. I mean, you gotta think. I know this kind of like a side note, but think about how many dudes. Do you think when you look at the whole what they call a swinger thing, do you think it's more women that talk dudes into that, or dudes that talk women into that? Because it seems like from the stats, it seems like women talk dudes into that more, a little bit more than the men do.
Yeah, they talking, but men always gonna be with it.
Nah, some dudes insecure, man. It's easy to go with it until you see Obi-Wan Kenobi come out, the top Jedi come out, and you start
Mhm.
challenging your insecurity, man. You're like, wait a minute, I'm not that much of a Jedi like that. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, man.
Well,
So,
I was about to say something about the swingers, but never mind. I wait offline.
uh, but no, I sometimes I be seeing like different stats. It seems like sometimes they say the women be a little bit more. Be more little try to have dudes do that a little bit more, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Then especially like when they get older or something like that.
Mm.
But you know what I'm saying? But I ain't going though. Yeah. That's why my wife started laughing. I ain't the one. I ain't sharing nothing. If I put in all the work, I get fussed at, I get grinded out. I ain't
If I take
sharing
the
nothing.
consequences all on my own, I'm gonna take all the credit and the money.
Exactly. Exactly. Ain't nobody getting a piece of my cake. Care who it is. All right, pick one. Timberland boots or polo boots?
Um, Polo. I've had multiple pairs of
I know
polo.
I've had both. Yeah, I go polo too. I've had both. Uh,
Trash.
Timberlands, it's just the soles are too hard, man. My feet can't take that walking on bricks, man. I don't even see how dudes could do it, man. But
Trash.
yeah. You go Timberlands, you gonna go
Oh, you
Timbos,
know I'm
man?
rocking Timbos all day, every day.
Nah, I'm polo boots, man. I could wear it to work and I could wear it's a little bit more versatility with
Never owned a pair.
Was you never had a pair of polo boots?
Never.
Yeah, I still got a pair in the closet. I don't even think I'm wearing them much because even though they kind of got the bottom like the Timberlands, the Ranger boots, they kind of hurt. But yeah. All right, next one. This is one. Why can't we organize as a culture? Is it A, petty differences, B, culture programming, C, generational programming, or D, refusal to work together, or E, inner city hating, like inner hating, like people hating on themselves.
I think it's all of the above, but the general thing is it's harder. The more people are involved, it's
Yeah,
harder to do things or
it
harder
is.
to organize. Now, you can say this like, well, two people, it's hard to push a car, but 10 people, it's easy for 10 people to push a car. Put it in neutral, y'all can push it probably for miles.
Yeah,
But what about 100 people or 1,000 people trying to push a car? We got to be organized. We got to do it in shifts. 1,000 people can't even touch a car at the same time. Things
right.
become more difficult, and the more people are involved, the more
It
moving
does.
parts, the more things can go wrong.
100%. And then you think about petty differences. I can't work with him because of this. I don't like him because he from Southwest. I don't like him because he live over there in Dixie. You know what I'm saying? Crazy stuff. You know what I'm saying? He from Hemlock Court, man. I don't fool with people from Hemlock Court, man. I don't trust them, man. You know what I'm saying? It's that culture programming, dude. That culture programming is something crazy, man. Some dudes, yeah, hey, have you seen them people that come to work and they don't really work the whole 8 hours? They try to find a way around to work the whole 8 hours. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're not gonna get 8 hours of work out of me. You know what I'm saying?
No, they do more. They spend more time and more effort trying to get out of work than actually doing the
Boy,
work.
I've been there. I'm just saying it because I've been there. I've been one of them kind of dudes. I did that before working at Walmart. You is not gonna get 4 hours of work out of me. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna look good though. You ain't gonna tell. It's gonna look good. It's gonna look real good. And you think about like you say, generational program, and now they really bashing like education and saying like debt, but we spending debt on credit card debt is the high. They say they like it's really high, the credit card debt and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But you spend debt on that on credit card on stuff that's gonna devalue and probably already devalue when you bought it. You know what I'm saying? Versus paying for a trade or something, or paying for some kind of certification that you can carry with you. You know what I'm saying, for years to come. But
But
here or there.
robbing Peter pay Paul. You know what I mean. We need to eat. I
Yeah.
can't go to school if I'm hungry. You know what I mean. And and the price of necessities is going up so much. You know what I mean. You can make $20 an hour and still be living check to check. $50 an hour still be living the check if you check to check if you make the wrong decision.
Right. And that comes with the programming. That's what I would tell kids. Like sometimes, in order to get to that part of the mountaintop, you're gonna have to sacrifice a little bit. You're not gonna be able to get everything at one time. If you're trying to get somewhere, it just don't work that way. And if you understand how to live within your means when you're sacrificing, yeah, you might not be able to go to Texas Roadhouse, but dude, you instead of buying one steak, you can make 30 sandwiches. You know what I'm saying? Even you think about like everybody don't want to make the mountain climb. I get it, cause like I say, sometimes people just don't want to do that. Well, I'm talking to people who want to make the mountain climb. The mountain climb is there. Is that do you want to make that climb? You know what I'm saying? And sometimes just say you gonna. I'm telling you from experience, you're gonna have to go without some stuff that you probably don't want to go without. But that's part of the way to elevate, though, especially for minorities, because we don't have the tools and the inheritance to bounce off of. You know what I'm saying? So you
Golden
have to.
parachute.
Yeah, even budgeting, you realize like I said, when I was talking to that teacher, I asked, was 70,000 enough? She said it's enough, but when she thought about it, she said, well, you know what? It may not be. It may be good if you're single with no kids, no family, just you. 70,000 may be enough, but when you talking about doing all the extra stuff, you will burn through 70,000 because with taxes, you're not getting the whole 70,000 for number one. Because the taxes, how much you bring home after taxes on 70,000? Maybe 50, 60, something like that. You're not bringing home the whole 70,000. You
Yeah,
know what
I
I'm
mean,
saying? That's number
but
one.
when you start thinking like that, nothing's ever enough. I mean, like 70, like 100 ain't enough. 150 ain't enough. I mean, but that can't be the answer to all your questions. Just make more money. You know what I mean? We
No,
gotta
no, no. It ain't about it's making more money, but putting yourself in a position where you have the opportunity, if it's there, to make more money though.
yeah.
Instead of being stuck, instead of being stuck in the 40 range. You know what I'm saying? Because I've been there. It sucked. You know what I'm saying? You pay your bills and your benefits take up most of your check,
But you gotta,
and
like,
you
you
only
know,
bring
like
home.
you said, that's a thing where, you know what I mean. Like I say, sometimes the answer is always kind of, you need to make more money, get more skills to keep going, because they're not a ceiling. But you also remember a time where you was in the 15,000 range, and that was definitely impossible. You know what I mean? Then you was in the 20 range, that's still impossible. 30, 40, you know what I mean? And then like
So let me ask you this: as a man with a family, what is the minimum amount you need to be shooting for if you're a man with a family? What's the minimum amount you need to be shooting for?
the minimum is what I can get. Like what I like, because I gotta go. Like the minimum, you know what I mean. If I can get $10 an hour, I'm going to give. I'm gonna feed my son and try to give us some a place to stay, and that's what I'm gonna try to do. Whatever I'm getting, that's what I'm gonna try to make the best
No, I'm
of.
saying, but
Uh,
if we had a group of kids that said, you know what, I'm around for the ready to graduate high school, and you say, hey, you can get a job, but if you're thinking about a family in your future, you need to get to this level to where it can be comfortable. You don't feel like you don't have enough to even buy a pair of pants by the time you pay all the bills. You know what I'm saying? That's all I'm saying.
I say 50,000 is cool starting out anyway. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But
And see, that's
even most,
and see, yeah.
But they're
and
not. But
most
I mean, like I said, time before,
look,
they don't give. Nobody gives you $50,000.
right,
No,
right,
that's what I'm
right.
saying.
You know
Yeah,
what
and
I
that's
mean?
why you
But
gotta talk to
So,
them about today. How do you get there?
guess what?
but
Now,
Yeah.
guess what? What you're going to have to make work with your family and
yeah,
with yourself. If you
yeah,
make a mistake and have a family while you're making $10 an hour, that's what you get. That's your life right now.
yeah, but
Yeah.
You shouldn't do that, but mistakes happen.
yeah,
Whatever you have, that's what the minimum is.
yeah.
And you always trying to be better than that. But a lot of people are still at the $10 an hour range, and
But when we go ahead.
making $20 an hour is a dream, almost a fantasy. And some of these
But
people
how
got
many? But that's the
now.
thing, right? When we talk about culture programming, how many people, if they had the opportunity to elevate or do something different, they still wouldn't do it though, because they
Uh,
just get comfortable where they at.
no, they're not comfortable. They're scared. And like the situation I told you earlier, the
Yeah.
less you have, the harder you hold on to it. You hold on with both hands, so you can't reach for another opportunity because you might lose this little that you have. You don't
Right.
want to risk going to school. You don't want to risk losing your job. You don't even want to look for another job because you got to take your hand off the little you get. You know what I mean? And it's a fear
Yeah.
thing, and it's
I
paralyzing
feel. Yeah, I'm with you.
people.
Fear of the unknown. You got to challenge yourself. Yeah, reprogram yourself to challenge. Like, yeah, I had to do that a couple times. Like
And
when
just
I
like a challenge, you can lose everything. And guess what? Everything is nothing because you don't have anything. You know how
right,
scary it is to lose $10 when that $10 is all you get. Guess what? To us, I can blow $10 30 times, you know what I mean, on an online transaction. But if you
yeah,
only get 10, you know what I
that's
mean? It took
real.
you 2 weeks to
Yeah,
make that $10. It's so scary to even think about doing anything to jeopardize this thing. It was like, and
and
even
then yeah,
relationship, you don't want to go find a better man because like it was so hard to find this man that you get. A piece of man is better than no man.
and then we talk about like just generational programming, right? We was talking about earlier with this whole relationship thing, how it's so crazy now. It seems like it's a war against male versus female instead of working together. You know what I'm saying? Or females, it's like females they want a long term relationship, but they don't want to be married. Or dudes, they want to be married, but they want to have multiple wives. You know what I'm saying? It's just kind of
No,
crazy, man.
like
It's just
everybody's trying to con the other person, and everybody's
yes,
scared
yeah,
of being conned. Like, you know what I mean? I want a man to pay all the bills. Well, I don't want to pay all her bills and she leave me, or I'm scared to do these things. And then, well, I don't want to have a baby or be submissive to a man because what if that man hurts me? What if he does this? And what if I lose? And then everybody is operating. When people say, I don't want to go 50-50, I don't want to pay all the bills. I want a man to pay all of that's operating out of fear.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And if you are bettering yourself because of fear, that's bettering yourself is never wrong, but that's a crazy motivation.
Right. Bettering yourself through fear instead of a strategy. Yeah, it's pretty crazy. It could be pretty crazy.
Well, I don't want to be the
Yeah.
old lady broken alone, so I'm gonna get all my degrees and I'm gonna get this and I'm gonna get this so I can take care of myself because ain't no man taking care of me. Hey, do what you want to do. Like, be happy, fulfill your dreams. Don't be somebody else's version of happy. If you don't want to do hot girl summer, don't do hot girl summer. You go read a book and go on a retreat. You know what I mean? Go on a go taste cheese or whatever. You know what I mean? Do what you want to do. You don't have to be, twerking. You don't have to have trap music. But if you like trap music, do trap music. You know what I mean? Trap and sip. Do whatever you want to do. But make sure
My
that
thing is, my heart goes out to these kind of people, right? They, cause I've been there. You go on the other side of the fence. You go in the wilderness, so to speak, and you be over there for so long that you start looking tired. You don't say it, but you can just tell by looking at the person. They look tired. They look like they just tired of the lifestyle, but for some reason, their ego won't let them stop. You know what I'm saying? They program so far. They so deep in there, they don't want to come out, but they want to come out, but their ego won't let them come out. It's like much of my life, I do what I want to do, but I see the results, but the results is not
you're not
bearing.
even
You know what I'm
happy
saying?
in the standards you made for
Yeah,
yourself.
exactly.
Habits
Exactly.
and the appearances that you got to keep up. You don't even like
Yeah.
it, but you got to keep up
Hmm.
the appearance because you sold everybody else on this wonderful life you have, and it's
Boy.
so you gotta really know.
But yeah, we're gonna come back to this, man. We can talk about this all day. But yeah, I thought this was pretty cool. So pick one. Konnan or Samoa Joe.
Man, Samoa Joe was crazy, funny, but I used to love Konnan.
Yeah, I know that. Konnan.
Keep the
Aliba
four
la
line.
Raza, Holmes. Aliba la Raza.
Dude used to do the four roll in the clothesline.
Yeah, he did.
So it was just
Yeah.
crazy.
He was in NWO for like a short minute. He tried to bring Rey Mysterio in. They jumped him back out, man. He's my brother, Holmes. If he cool with me, man, he cool with y'all.
Yeah, that's crazy. But I do like the representation, like when
Yeah.
they get the Samoans and more Mexican.
Oh, yeah.
People.
Samoa Joe just remind you of the dude you see in Walmart for real, man. You know what I'm saying? Over there looking at the guava nectar or something. You know what I'm saying?
I don't even remember
He
him.
like Samoa Joe would call, man. He kick you with them kicks, man. Sorry. with them shin kicks, man. He was more like AEW, I think, the newer wrestler, I think. He was more than that, yeah. And he was champion. He tripped me out. He wore them towels like Ricky Garvin used to wear them towels, man. Ricky Garvin, man. The hands of steel.
Y'all showing y'all age, man.
I know, right? So this is the one we were talking about earlier, the other side of the fence when you go into the wilderness. A woman says on TikTok, I think it was G Herbo, first baby's mother, I think. She said if a man has access to a woman's house, he should be paying all the bills. Is that realistic or cap?
Like what do you mean access? If you it costs to stay anywhere. If you're staying in a woman's house, you got to pay what you weigh. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? If you ain't got no house, but so yes, but no, I don't think you should be paying anybody's bill if you're not married to them or you're not going that way. You know what I mean? I don't really think you should be having kids with people you don't want to potentially marry. You know what I mean? That's kind of crazy.
What? Jay changed on that? I thought you was indifferent about that. Man, my thing is this, bro. Like, you can say that, and that sounds like an awesome Disney story, but if you've been living in America anytime, you know that ain't real because that's why there's a lot of single parents out here. There's a lot of kids without fathers because dudes do that. They get access to a woman's house and have kids with them and they bounce. You know what I'm saying? It's called selling a dream, man. You know what
Yeah,
I'm
I
saying?
mean, it's like,
I
but
mean, you can have the standard, but that don't mean dude's gonna do it. I mean, you can have it, but it's just not how
but
the world works
oh,
sometimes.
you got to think about like realistically, like everybody has bills. If you're a person, you have a bill.
Yes,
Um,
yes,
you're trying to
yes,
say just because you deal with somebody, you pay all their life expenses. You know what I mean? Like
yeah,
everybody I know eat 3 times a day. They use a certain amount of water. They use the internet. They use people. It costs a certain amount of money to live. If you have
yeah.
kids, I have 3 kids. I have me, these 3 kids, and just because I'm talking to you, paying all your bills, um, money is not sexual. Like it's not gender based. $100 to me is $100 to my mama.
That's true.
The same money. You know what I mean? So
I think it's the entitlement to just think that just to demand something like that is pretty crazy. But because, like I said, most dudes, man, they ain't going for that, man. But everybody different, you know what I'm saying? Just
Yeah,
I don't know.
sound like prostitution to me.
But to them, it ain't. That's what's crazy. They won't say it. They do everything around it, but they won't say it though.
but a lot of times, these people want that sexual freedom. So like, oh, you paying all my bills, but I don't want to have to be able to drop it like it's hot on demand. But
Right.
you can
Yeah.
demand X amount of money at the first of the month, but this
Right.
person can't demand you drop it
Right.
like that because
They want the whole menu. You tell them, nah, are you gonna pay all my bills, but you only get butter rolls and biscuits. You don't get the steak. You don't get we're not doing Alfredo. No, 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 no. That's what girls don't understand. If a dude pay all your bills, if you talking about the average household, it would be 3 grand, 4 grand or something like that, maybe.
but
Everything, and you tell them what you ain't gonna do. That's crazy. You know what I
I
mean? But
seen
that's
guys on the internet, you know what I mean? Hey, I'm paying all her bills and I'm still waiting for marriage, for sex, even though she has 2 kids already and she got a living roommate that's a man, but I'm still paying all her bills because that's what a man needs to do. What about the man
yeah.
that's living in her house that you're paying the bills for? You know what I mean? You still waiting for sex for a marriage, but she got
Boy.
a brother living with her. So
Yeah, it's pretty crazy, man.
Audacity. For women, I always say men be broke. They show the man, I pay all my bills. Get my
Yeah, I
hand.
seen.
I mean,
You ever watch those?
I think women should live up to a standard and value themselves. You know what I mean? And all
Did
the
you
shit.
ever? Y'all ever see those little clips they be posting on Facebook called nightly talks or something like that? Some light skinned dude with the beard. They be in there talking with like a room full of people talking about relationship stuff. It'd
Yeah,
be so funny, man. But one woman said that like she want a man to that's her standard. He should pay all the bills, and a woman told her, no, the light skinned dude told her, what are you being realistic with your standard? Because he was like, you got to think about how many people in America can pay a woman every bill in a woman's house. Like, what's the percentage of dudes that can even do that? And then he said after
for
that, what's the
themselves.
percentage of women that can pay their own bills? You know what I'm saying? Let alone men. You know what I'm saying? I'm hearing you say this. Sound like you're not the percentage that can even do that for yourself. You know what I'm saying? But you
Because
want a dude to do that.
you
You know
need
what I'm
that.
saying?
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Um, but everybody needs money. I mean, that's why we're working. We're in a recession. COVID was terrible. You know,
Sound like she not working though. She need to do to pay all her bills. Sound like she not working though. But you know what I'm saying? All right, pick one. British Bulldog or Buff Bagwell. You remember these dudes?
Yeah. I don't know. I'm going British Bulldog. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going Buff Bagwell. I like British Bulldog too. Buff Bagwell, man, dude.
Yeah.
I don't know what it was. He's like his body, his genes and steroids. That was the perfect mix, bro. Like I could tell, British Bulldog was on steroids, but it only helped his chest and his arms. Buff Bagwell had he had like an 8 pack or something. I don't know, man. Dude was crazy, man. Dude was jacked, man. But yeah, British Bulldog was cool, but
Yeah.
Buff Bagwell, man, who used to do that, man, he used to have them biceps, man. I was like, man, that's crazy. But yeah, British Bulldog was that dude though.
Oh yeah.
We used to have that tag team with the other dude. I forgot the other dude name. He
British
used to tag
Bulldog
team
got
with.
the only white dude, the first white dude we saw with braids.
Boy.
Put out the
Yeah, had the braids, yeah, for sure.
oh man, go.
So here's the next question. Should young men be trained about dealing with personal impulses? I
Yeah,
think they should, but
yeah,
because that's one thing I wish my dad probably could have trained, but he, of course, he died. But man, if you don't train a young man how to deal with those things,
yeah,
they're gonna do what they want to do, and it's probably not gonna be good. You know what I'm saying?
yeah, yeah,
Um,
yeah, and that's
like
why they
when
so
you
quick.
young, go ahead, go
Yeah,
ahead.
go ahead. No, you time.
No, no, go ahead, Peter. Go ahead, finish. I got
I,
something to say what you can do. Go ahead.
yeah, and I think that's why they so quick to shoot somebody,
Oh yeah, one hundred
stuff
percent.
like
Yeah,
that, because they don't know how to deal with it. You know what I'm saying?
yeah. And
Yeah,
another thing too, like with violence, right? If you're not taught to walk away, we're gonna. I think it's. I got a slide talking about that here in a few minutes, but you have to understand that if you do violence, there's gonna be something to come with it, whether it's from justice or whether it's from the streets.
yeah,
You either gonna go to jail or you gonna have to face somebody else that's probably gonna come after you. You know what I'm saying? It ain't as big now as it was back in the day, but back in the day, if you shoot somebody, somebody probably gonna come shoot you.
oh, nah,
Now it
it's
seems like
worse.
it's kind of different now. You know what I'm
It's
saying?
way worse now.
Is it way worse?
It's
Yeah, I
way
can see
worse.
that. But you rob somebody's house, if they find out that you did it, they probably gonna come after you. You gonna wish the police came and got you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So,
Hmm.
and you think about dudes though, like dudes that's not in violence, just a regular dude. If you was in high school, you was in academics, you become an adult, and the way that these girls dress now, a lot of these dudes they can't handle that mentally. It's a lot to process. You know what I'm saying? Like, man, you could go some places, man, and they running around, with basically almost what they would walk around the house in,
Hmm.
and a dude that's 18 or 19, how do you process that? You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying?
Hey,
And you supposed to have a straight face. You're not supposed to. And sometimes they it's almost like they're trying to run in front of you. Like, dude, get away from me. I'm trying to get out of your vicinity. You know what I'm saying? But
uh,
18, 19-year-old man, I just my heart goes out to him, man, because I don't know how they, how do
it,
you process that? You know what I'm saying?
it,
It's
it,
tough, man.
it's normal. You know what I'm saying? It's normal. Back then, we like it'd be one or two.
Yeah, it's a few. Yeah,
Yeah. Now you're like, dang, that's
man.
too. That's too many. That's too many.
Boy, you go downtown, boy. Woo, you like, man, I gotta get from down here.
Hey man,
Ooh wee. It's like you used to how Peel, you used to have to go to River Country. Now you don't got to go
man,
River Country. You just ride down River Bark.
man.
It's the
What?
same thing.
It's so man.
Oh man, that's funny.
That's why I
Yeah,
say it's
go ahead.
normal. It's normal now. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, that's sad too. Yeah. And
Yeah.
then the second, is it a crime to exploit a person on their impulse? This stuff happens all the time, man. Whether it's people getting played on emails. I'm from Nigeria. I
Yeah.
need you to send me $10,000 US dollar, and I will send you 20 back.
Yeah.
Please help me. My brother is in an orphanage. I need to get him out.
Hey.
Please send me 10,000 US dollars. Matter of fact, give me your bank account. I will get it for you.
Yeah.
And they'll do it, man. It's crazy, man. I've seen that happen, man. Working in IT, man, I've seen that kind of stuff happen, man.
Yeah.
Um,
And
Women exploit men. They exploit men. Like you see this happen all the time. NBA players and stuff. Get trapped. Woman, get pregnant by you, man, and child support for 18 years. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Happens all the time. You know what I'm saying? So you gotta be careful, man, not to get exploited, man,
Yeah.
on your impulses, man.
Mm.
Because you think it's not that easy, but people do it all the time, man.
All the time.
Learn that in life, kids, man. Know what you're weak at, and guard that, and fortify that. You know what I'm saying? So, because people will exploit you out here, man. And a lot of times people try to say they get mad, but who gonna enforce it? Sometimes people be talking about the law, but they don't realize, and with law and politics, who's gonna enforce it? Like if you in Southwest on 65th Street in front of Bunners, if somebody do something crazy, if the police is not there, who gonna enforce that? You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying?
Hey.
And that's the thing. You know what I'm saying?
Mm.
Yeah, here you go. Inner city education. What price do you pay for walking away from a confrontation? And how tough is it dealing with perception as a teenager, dealing with these kind of things? I think trying to talk to parents, I talked to a couple parents about this. Like, you telling your kid they can walk away, but you don't have to go back outside like your kids do. You don't have to go ride the school bus again like your kids do. It take a different kind of mind to be able to tune that out and understand that a lot of these dudes I'm not even gonna see after I graduate, be out of high school because you're not thinking like that. You thinking out where you at now. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah. I mean, you gotta survive too. Also,
yeah, all
you can
right,
walk. You can walk away. It ain't nothing wrong. But it's a difference between walking away and keep getting bullied. I know that.
yeah. I've been on both sides. I know moving around a lot when I went to elementary. A lot of
Mhm.
times though, man, you really, well, from my opinion, you get bullied when you by yourself, when you get singled out. But if you stay within a certain area and you build up a crew, you don't really get bullied. Like usually when you by yourself. And that's what sometimes happened to me when I was younger. I was by myself, moving around a lot, and
Mhm.
you get on the school bus and you knew everybody know you knew, man.
Mhm. Mhm.
But my principal told me one time, Miss Hudson, shout out to Miss Hudson. You could either, she said you can either avoid confrontation or you can just keep defending yourself, and you will end up being just like them if you keep doing it. You'll be in the office just as much as them talking to me as they are. And she was like, "Yeah, it's your choice." I was like, "Wow, man, that stuck with me for a long time, man. It made me think about some stuff, man. But definitely, man, you gotta think about who you hanging around and stuff too.
Hey, shout out
Cause
to Miss
some
Hudson.
dudes about their life. You about their life. You about their life. You know what I'm saying? I get it. I get it. Yeah.
Yeah,
I gotta make a prism. I think about making a pot and show a prism between civilian and street life and the degrees of separation. Sometimes you a civilian, but you see street stuff, but you still try to stay more towards civilian. You don't want to go across the street because once you get deep in the streets, man, sometimes it's hard to get out. I think some people don't understand that. You get so deep in it, and that's your identity, and that's all you know. It's hard to get out because that's all you know. That's all you known from. You know what I'm saying? And I feel bad sometimes people that we know that's like in there they can't get out of it because that's what they're known for. Kind of like if you working in a field for a long time, that's all you known for is working in the factory. And where do you go from there if the factory closed down? You know what I'm saying? Just like with the streets, all you known from being in Highland Park, but Highland Park is gone. But that's what you known for. That's your reputation. It's
yeah.
Highland Park. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, it's pretty crazy.
Mhm. Man. Yeah, that's true. Hey, but you know, when you're in it, you're in it. But you can
Boy,
always when you're not too far deep into it. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
Like I
That's the
said,
trick. Not get deep into it, man. That's the trick. Just try not to get deep into it, man.
like I say, I'm from the hood, and I know a lot of people that's from the hood. I mean, we
Yeah,
ain't
yeah,
out-
for
we
sure, for
ain't out
sure.
there gang banging on the corner like we, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Uh, 8 and 16, and you know what I'm saying? 18
But
years old.
how did you stop yourself from getting to that point though?
I probably my grandmother.
Yeah.
Yeah. My grandmother. So I was
Yeah.
more afraid of her than
Yeah, that grandma whooping something crazy, boy.
but
Boy.
or
They could swing that belt like no other, boy. Woo wee.
or worried about disappointing her. Then
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That, that's different when you disappoint your grandma. Just a look, you be
Yeah.
like, dang.
Yeah. So pick one. I'm about it or Killer Season. You ever saw Killer Season? You ever saw the Cameron movie?
Yeah, I saw Killer Seasons. You don't even know what a Carrera is.
Boy. Nigga said, he said I want a Ferrari. He said I want a Ferrari.
Can't even
A
afford
what? A Carrera? He said. Oh yeah, that was funny. Funk Flex was funny in Killer City too. When he tried to get that car, Funk Flex was like, man,
no.
go But Unbounded though was cold, man.
Yeah,
Unbounded was the first
you know,
homemade movie. I
yeah.
mean, he had the streets banging with Unbounded for a while, man. Nobody couldn't touch him with that Unbounded, man. One of the most bootleg movies, man. I know Maxwell Smart. That's where I got it from. Maxwell Smart, I think. Yeah. He even had the after party version, right? You know what I'm saying? What was the after party on that? But yeah, I'm gonna go about it. I like Killer Season too, but Unbounded though, he changed the game. He wasn't started for everybody doing them homemade movies and stuff. So, you know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Yeah, I'm about it.
About it. Boy, soundtrack was hidden.
Man.
Now, Killer Season soundtrack, his soundtrack probably was better than About. He had some cold beats, but
Yeah, I think
but
that was just his album, wasn't it?
what's that?
Killer Season. I think it was just his album.
Yeah. Yeah. No, he had like J.R. Ryder and like Hell Rail and stuff on them on there and stuff.
I thought it
He
was
had some
just
people on there. No, he had some other people on there too.
I'm talking about
It wasn't that many.
his album was called Killer Season.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm About It was a compilation. You're right. It was like more like a compilation. That's what P did though. He was good at making them compilations and collaborations. He was good at that. But guys, thank you for watching The Thinking Game. For those who come back and watch it, thank you for subscribing. Thank you for liking. Thank you for coming by. We appreciate it. I think we up at like almost 230 or something like that. But help us get to 500. Just we get to 1K. We trying to get there. Help us reach our goal. And with that, we are signing out. Anything you want to say before we sign out, bro?
Just say no. No.
All right, guys. We signing out this thing.